Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Krebskovo Company of Heroes cast. It has been quite a while, hasn't it? I actually uploaded an episode yesterday, but I had to take it down because I made a mistake, guys. I made a mistake. Apparently, I already casted that game a few months ago, and this is one of the things that happens when you do videos, and so many of them, is that you don't really remember what you've created. Funnily enough, because this is going to be the 118th episode, I can't even remember what I did 10 episodes ago. So I'm a bit sorry for actually casting the same episode. I guess these mistakes can happen, so I took it down, and now I'm doing another cast for you guys today. Also, the Diablo 3 servers are down, so I need something to do in the meantime. I'm so horrendously addicted to Diablo 3 at the moment. I don't actually know why. There's just something about it that's really, really attractive and lucrative to draw me to that game, okay? But anyway, the servers are down now. I'm going to be doing a cast for you guys. So today we're going to be doing a 2v2 matchup on the map Duclair, featuring two Brits versus two Americans. Over here in the Brit corner, we've got Red Alert as one of the Brits. Good game that was. We've also got PL, Jen Bartek of the Brits. Okay, so pretty sure I can guess where he is from in that world based on PL. So, Dzień dobry, all you Polish people out there. Now, over onto the Wehrmacht that we're going to be looking at today, we've got RoMJim as one of them. Where is he? RoMJim, say hello. Hello, RoMJim. As the Wehrmacht, and his partner is going to be RA11. If that actually stands for anything like RAW, I have no idea, but that is RA11 as his partner. And so they're going to be taking each other on in this glorious open-ish map that we call Duclair. And, well, we'll get the game started in 3 seconds. We're actually at the 6-second mark this time, and we're going to be starting in 3 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. 7, 8, 9, 10, and on we go to now the very exciting matchup in the Company of Heroes battlefield. I love that music that at the very beginning of whenever you start a matchup, it's like dun 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 dun. You know, it just gets you all pumped up and hyped for the battle ahead, and it's kind of mystifying in a way because you don't know what's in that fog of war. You don't really know what to expect, and so it's pumping up music, but also brings a bit of awareness and caution to what is going to lie ahead. So anyway, let's take a look at what the Brits are up to. Looks like they are valiantly capping the munitions points first. One is grabbing that medium munitions point, the other is grabbing the other one in the center. Interesting stuff. So obviously going to be getting down their caravans, their buses on top of that area, their HQ. Although I'd like to think a little bit more, maybe it would be a good idea to cap this one. I know it's a little bit of a far stretch, maybe it'd be a risk if anything, but you know, if you could maintain both of these points in the center, that's really, really gonna deprive the Wehrmacht of any munitions. So, you know, it's a bit of a risk, but at the same time, if you can pull it off, you know, that risk-reward benefit would definitely help you out a lot. But anyway, they're playing a bit more cautiously this time, and fair enough. What we've got from the Wehrmacht is that they've produced, as their first units, motorcycles, both of them as well. So both are going to be harassing, because the last thing you want for your Brit player to do, your Brit enemy, is for them to actually put down any emplacements. So when they start getting down emplacements, then you know you're in a whole other world of hurt, and you need to start thinking about taking out those emplacements sooner or later. And so by having those motorcycles prevent them from getting it down, harass their guys, and there you go. Also, motorcycles are really, really nice because even though they take damage, they're like freaking Terminators. You can get them repaired. They don't die like men, they don't wound like flesh, so you don't have to spend manpower to reinforce them or anything like that. So, you know, get them repaired and keep them fighting, save that manpower going. So a lot of benefits to motorcycles, a lot of cons to motorcycles at the same time as well, because they're such weak units. Also, they can only go in one direction, they can't reverse, and so you can see how this motorcycle is sort of fiddling about, and the guy that's in the weak cart on the side is just being like, what the hell are you doing? Stop making donuts around the field in Duclair, especially when we're getting shot at. This is not the perfect time to be doing some wheelies and donuts and all that sort of great stuff. Burnout. Anyway, so we've got the Wehrmacht trying to push forward with the Brits just holding on in here. They've got some infantry sections being produced. Nice thing about having that HQ right at the front line is that, boom, well, it's at the front line. Get some cover behind the hay bales over here, providing nice green cover, and so it's going to feel really quaint, nice and home for them, a very advantageous position for the Brits, whilst the Wehrmacht are going to have to suffer because they don't have anything to sort of reinforce from the front line. Okay, but at the same time, kind of bad for the Brits because they're locked in at their base. They can't really retreat to anything else if they really wanted to, unless they packed up this HQ, but then that's kind of silly if they've done that. They're sort of in a difficult position. So what are they doing? How are the Brits going to respond to this? How is Red Alert going to work around this? Or, well, actually, PL, Jen Baratek, he's going to be placing down an emplacement. So the last thing that you want to happen, I've got a text. Oh god. Okay. Sorry. No, my girlfriend was just saying that she woke up just now. It's 3:11 p.m. She's just been studying a lot recently because she's got her exams coming up, so I guess she's committed. Anyway, so they've actually managed to get down their mortar emplacement right here and firing away at the MGs. Good stuff to be doing that because the Brits were suffering from all of the MGs suppressing their guys. So now the MGs are forced to retreat. They can't stay there or else you know what the end result of that's going to be. And so they're going to have to get away from there. Notice how the motorcyclists were trying to get around there to actually destroy the mortar emplacement before it could be put down. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. They damaged it slightly. Now, two ways to take on mortar emplacements: destroy the mortar emplacement itself, or kill the guys building it. If you've got a lot of time, just kill the guys who are building it. If you don't have much time, you could try to destroy the emplacement. At the same time, you could also kill the guys. It really depends. Because when you're building things, you obviously take more damage than you normally would. And if you're building an emplacement or any building, the building also takes more damage than it normally would. So it's really up to you, but personally, I don't know, I think I'd probably go for the guys that are building it, just because, you know, it's a double whammy effect. They don't get down their emplacement and their guys are gonna get easily killed. Okay, anyway, so let's take a look at what else the Wehrmacht are up to. Getting some snipers out here. Very good choice to be going for that because these Brits, hardy guys to take on normally. They're hardy men. They can take a lot of bullet fire. You'll notice this from experience whenever you're taking on the Brits, that a single infantry squad is definitely superior to a Volksgrenadier squad, probably even a Grenadier squad. So by having these snipers out, it's a guaranteed kill every time they fire, and so that's great stuff to be doing that. And what are the Brits going to be doing? Well, they've got loads of infantry coming out for their strategy. Could this mean a infantry spam of some sorts? I have no idea, but they have lieutenants and all this infantry together, so you never really know. It wouldn't really surprise me, to be fair, if we were the Brits. But anyway, let's take a look at what's going on across the map. You can see that the Wehrmacht are quite unopposed up north, just capping away, whilst the Brits are suffering, fighting the battle on the front over towards the middle and the southern side. I guess the Brits were trying to go in for some sort of flank here, maybe prevent the pioneers from capturing their territory, coming in for some sort of flank, but difficult position to be in. With these MGs around here, it's going to be really hard for the men to even move forward, and especially how the mortar emplacement is all that distance away. Can we actually maybe see, you know, how far this thing shoots? Maybe if I switch on over to Bartek, can we see it? I'm sorry guys. We can't really see the cone, how far it shoots, but I'm guessing it's around this area here that it can shoot, and that is a sure sign of Royal Artillery support. So whenever you notice that a mortar is firing halfway across the map, it doesn't have to actually be halfway across the map, but that's a bit of an exaggeration, then you can pretty much guess that your opponent has gone for Royal Artillery support, and means that they're going to be getting a lot of things to do with artillery, priests, howitzers. They'll be unlocking officer abilities in terms of officer barrages. Notice what happened there, though. We had some pioneers with flamethrowers come around the side and actually take out the emplacement. They were going to go for that casualty clearing center. Unfortunately, they started getting some flak from the enemy. Now, whenever you come to that stage, say you're taking on the Brits, don't you guys ever get that feeling when they put down emplacements? It's just like, oh damn, now I'm going to have to deal with the emplacements. You sort of fall back a little bit. Because that whole initial war against the Brits is to prevent them, and this is the early game by the way, is to prevent them from actually getting down any emplacements. But when they do, it's a sigh. It's like, oh god, now I'm gonna have to devote men getting flamethrowers and Panzer Shreks to actually destroy this stuff. Oh, what a joke. At the same time, I don't know, I think I'm actually quite happy whenever Brits go for emplacements, just because they're actually not that hard to take on, as people, you know, may say they do. If you're a newbie in Company of Heroes and you're struggling to take on SimCity, by SimCity I mean a Brit player that literally builds just emplacements everywhere across the map, then what you can do is, well, get artillery of some sort. You can get Panzer Shreks, you can get flamethrowers, that will work as well, but late game stuff, you can start thinking about Nebelwerfers, Stukas, and things like that that can easily pummel the emplacements. Be a little bit careful though if they get improved emplacements, because that will be a little bit more difficult to take on. Alright, because they get more health and they're just hard to destroy. Anyway, so here we go. We've got the pack down there taking some fire, taking some shots from long range, probably maximum range. Great stuff. Another great way to take on emplacements with packs. Massive range. As long as you got the sight, they can easily get outwith of the range of the emplacements. But what we got over here looked like some sort of officer barrage coming down, just annihilating the crew of the pack. All that's left is the pack itself and no crew whatsoever. Are these guys gonna reman it just with 2 guys? Fair enough. We'll see how that works. Whilst all that is happening down south, we've actually got some gentlemen over here who are crawling despite having a lieutenant here. How does that work? Can anyone describe this to me? I'm not exactly sure how this works. I thought if you had a lieutenant, your guys would go at normal pace when you're in enemy territory. I don't really understand how that is happening unless that's some sort of glitch, but fair enough. Somebody explain that to me. Somebody explain that. I've never seen that before. Anyway, whilst all that happening is happening up north because nothing is pretty much defending that area, the other Brit, Red Alert, is going to be down here in the center, just defending by himself against 2 Axis forces. Ooh, what a brave guy, eh? All by himself, taking on the entire German army. Oh, you Brits. Oh, you crazy Brits. But, that is the Hardy Tommies for you. And it looks like he's going to have to retreat because that's going to be too much to deal with. You can see the multiple Wehrmacht factions here. You can see the brown colored ones, the Volksgrenadiers here. You can see, oh god, tons of flamethrowers coming. Oh god, worst enemy for Tommy's flames. Just perfect way for them to die, and now here they all come. But it's a great idea to actually focus fire down all of these squads. You gotta notice that some of these squads, actually multiple of them, have recon upgrade on them, so they could easily use their marksman ability to just finish off those pioneers. And so, you know, even though they would have had a great job taking out the infantry sections, oh god, my girlfriend is not stopping texting me. It's just one text after the other. Bernie! Bernie! Question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh god. She'll have to wait 20 minutes or so until this replay is over. But anyway, guys, we've got the Puma coming out for the Wehrmacht over here to help with this infantry force of the Brits. Wow, look at what's been happening up north. All those squads just decapped pretty much everything that the Wehrmacht had. So whilst the Wehrmacht were quite happy just defending this area, everything up north got decapped, and now they're gonna have to divert some of their units to actually decap some of the stuff over in that area. But Pumas are a good idea because if you look at the Brits and their squads, none of them have any form of anti-tank at the moment, do they? Because you can see that some of them have recon, some of them have smoke, rifle grenades, but what are rifle grenades going to do? That's for infantry and also for smoke cover, but you know, that's not anti-tank whatsoever, so not exactly sure how well that's going to work against a Puma. And yet they're still valiantly moving on forward. Maybe they're trying to take out this pack because it's kind of harassing the base, and that's not what they really like that much. So good idea to be doing that, and they really need to start thinking about something to take on this Puma. So I'm getting a little bit worried here. You know, it's just one Brit taking on all this stuff, whilst the other one is kind of screwing around up here, just decapping everything. You know, it's important to decap, but at the same time, don't leave your partner in the dust. Don't leave your base in the dust as well, because if you leave that in the dust, you will become dust. And so I would be, if I was in the Brits position, I'd probably go help out my partner rather than just leave him to suffer. Just my opinion. I think maybe you guys would do the same. Oh god, all these Brit squads. No! One down! The rifle grenade squad, and the HQ is gone, and is this one gonna die as well? No, thank god. Whew! Finally, some sort of anti-tank coming out. The Cromwell, and also Pieds. That was a bit late. I think they should have anticipated armor a little bit earlier. They should have at least got down something, some Pieds, maybe AT emplacement, some, I don't know, a Steward at least. Earlier than that, just because that was way too late to have some sort of armor. 14 minutes into the game, and they just got out their first anti-tank. That is way too late, so not a good idea in my opinion. This Cromwell is chasing down the Puma because it's got hardly any health left. We'll have to see how successful it's going to be. Look at that flanking speed going as well. As soon as he's down on the road, he's just buzzing about. And I think he's kind of lost where the Puma's gone. He's like, ugh, where has he gone? I cannot see him on the map anymore. But funnily enough, he's down in this area. So actually, let's take a look. Let's turn off the fog of war. And all that the Cromwell can see is just stuff in the base. And the Puma is somewhere over here. So fog of war back off. And, you know, it's kind of interesting. For the Brits, even though they've gone for their Royal Artillery support, I'm kind of surprised that they don't have more artillery, because when you look at the stuff over here, everything's just sort of grouped up, isn't it? So if you could imagine a 25-pounder, that would just destroy everything that the Brits have, and that would be a great thing to do. Anyway, Cromwell is harassing over here at the Wehrmacht's base. Looks like they're probably going to finish off that squad. Yep, anything that's going to be retreating for the Wehrmacht is going to take a hassle from that Cromwell, so they got to force back something into their base, such as these packs, divert some of their forces to actually take on that lone Cromwell. Interesting stuff. I love the harassment that's going across the field with the Brits. Just one Cromwell, just one freaking Cromwell in the base is enough to start splitting the forces of the Wehrmacht. So, you know, keep this in mind if you're ever playing any games. If you want to make a move on your opponent, then just maybe take a single tank German Firefly, Cromwell, anything, and just send it into the Wehrmacht's base and prevent any guys, any retreating guys from, well, retreating and reinforcing. And so the Wehrmacht has to force themselves in some manner to actually prevent that Cromwell from being such a hassle. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Sniper, 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 sniper. It's getting revealed by the little Steward over here, and the Steward is just constantly losing him. I have a feeling the pack might finish it off before. Oh yeah, it did happen. Pack finished off the little Steward before he could actually take out the sniper. How unfortunate. He was so close, but the gun of the Steward is just automatically turning about. Cromwell just getting out of here because he took quite a bit of flak from the pack. And so he did his damage, and that's enough. He's letting himself go. Fair enough. Whilst another Cromwell is coming in, and I can also hear a naval Wehr somewhere over here. and Naval-Werfer's landing right on top of the retreating squads of the Brits. Alright, good option to be going for that. And it looks like Red Alert is mass producing Cromwells in large numbers now. And he's just heading them into the base. You know, what can I think about this? You know, I was just saying that it's a good idea to send your tanks into the enemy base, but eventually your opponent is probably going to learn what you're doing, and they're going to have some anti-tank there. So, you know, what's the point of actually sending in more tanks one by one, especially when your opponent is probably adapting to it? They're probably going to have some sort of tanks out, and that's pretty much it. So one Cromwell going down, the other very badly damaged one retreating with flanking speed to get out of there. Whilst the Wehrmacht have some half-tracks over here, and notice how they have two. So I highly doubt they would have two half-tracks singularly for, you know, reinforcing, maybe one. But if they have two, it's probably because they're coming up with some sort of cunning plan. Whether that's going to be some sort of upgrade like the flamethrowers, the Flammenwerfer, or the Stuka upgrade, I don't know. Maybe they'll just be getting, maybe they'll just simply be getting some guys in there, man those turrets, send them on forward into the Brit base, get some guys out of there like flamethrowers, maybe MP40s, and just use those MG turrets on the half track to suppress any guys, right? And there we go. Was that the... Couldn't be just by himself. I was waiting to say, these half tracks by themselves surely couldn't suppress a massive blob like that. Surely not. But no, it was because the MG over here, being the useful MG that it is, very, very useful to get out veterancy on these units. As you can notice, the MG had veterancy out on it, improving its accuracy, reloading time, and such. And so, yeah, very, very good stuff. By the way, if you guys ever want to find out the exact specifics of veterancy for any units in Company of Heroes, and especially up to date, I mean, maybe you guys are more accustomed to using co-stats and you all know how out of date it is, then you can actually just look up Company of Heroes Wiki. Surprisingly, not many people use it, but it's, I'm pretty sure, up to date. It's very nicely laid out. So just look out Company of Heroes Wiki. It should be like companyofheroes.wiki.net or something like that. Everything's up to date on there, and it's really, really helpful. You can see all the veterancy bonuses for everything. Okay, so the Wehrmacht are producing another bunker over here. I have no idea what this is going to lead to. An MG bunker? Just maybe looking at how it's put down at the moment. Maybe just a bunker for defenses. Maybe... Probably not another medic bunker when they already got one there. I have no idea. Naval-Werfer firing right on this location. Everything. Heroic charge has been activated. Instantly, everything of the Brits, all the British infantry become marathon runners. And they've got inspiration to run. Killing off that sniper recon squad, revealing mines. Great stuff whenever you're blobbing up your infantry, even though I don't support it. But although it makes sense, if you're ever blobbing up your infantry, keep at least one recon squad amongst them, because they can reveal enemy mines, I believe, when they're stationary. So there you go. Oh god. Hold on, guys. I need to quickly text my girlfriend because she's having a wee rage. So I'm gonna pause the game at 21 minutes and 27 seconds. Okay, and now we're going to be starting again in 3, 2, 1, begin. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, there we go. Now all these squads are retreating back to their base. Oh, low on men. You gotta imagine what this kind of cost for reinforcement is gonna come out to. So let's maybe take a look at Bartek. He's got 600. Instantly, he's jumped down to 300. Maybe that's just from purchasing something, but I imagine if he's going to reinforce these guys, they're probably going to go all the way down. Manpower? Maybe more than that. Well, I thought it would be more than that, but okay, fair enough. It was probably like 150. No, there we go. There we go. Everything's being reinforced, and now that's completely everything of the manpower that they had being used up. So from 600 down to like 50 instantly. By reinforcing, and I believe probably purchasing something as well. But anyway, here we go. We've got the Cromwell harassing the Pumas over here, and now the tide of the territory is changing up north. The Brits have lost control of the territory up north. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And now the Cromwells are looking kind of infantile compared to the Tiger that has just come out on the field for RoMJim. RoMJim obviously going for the Blitzkrieg down along the left-hand side, going for the assault team first, then the assault force, then the assault support. Eventually unlocking that Tiger lastly, and so that is just going to be owning the Cromwell with ease. RA11 has gone for his propaganda war, his terror doctrine, and interesting sort of stuff. I suppose it's not really a horrible idea. I mean, a lot of times we know how games with Brit blobs end up in, with V1s smack dab in the face, but we'll have to see what happens, okay? It looks like the propaganda war was used to some good effect, actually retreating some squads over here. I'm not sure if it was the most best ones. Just retreating some random squads, Bren, rifle grenades. You know, I think I probably would have gone for Piats personally, just to prevent any destruction. Would have been a better idea. But fair enough, I suppose they retreated some of them. Anyway, so we've got the Wehrmacht just losing their defensive line right there. The bunker's going down, but at the same time, these guys having to retreat and get themselves back up to speed. And it looks like the Brits are resorting to blobs. Massive, massive blobs. Look at all these squads. We've got, oh god, 8 squads in total with lieutenants accompanying them as well. How horrendous to be up against something like that. You just gotta imagine the power that the veterancy from the lieutenants must give for all those gentlemen right there. And how difficult it must be for the Wehrmacht to even take on all of that at the same time. Gosh, if they're gonna have any standing chance against it, they gotta get some lucky artillery, or loads of snipers. Snipers could work. If both of these players could get 2 snipers each, 4 in total, that would wreak havoc on these squads. But snipers are expensive. 340 manpower each. That's gonna come out 680 for each player. Good idea, but this is a massive blob, and what the Wehrmacht are doing is just putting down random sandbags everywhere right now because they need some cover, and they need it right now, especially with the impending doom of just all these squads heroic charging the Tiger at the moment. All these guys landing on their mine, perfect, because at least it's just delaying these guys slightly. They're dwindling down in numbers one by one. But how successful they're going to be? Well, they're just all retreating. Okay, fair enough. That really didn't do anything. In fact, they just lost men, if anything. But okay, fair enough. My god. And they're calling down GG. They're calling down GG, but we still have plenty of time on the timer to go, so this is not a good game just yet. They've still got all these squads available. Nebelwerf is trying to go down on top of these men, but ooh, look at that spread. The spread just way too far apart, and just completely missing these squads altogether. And now we've got the Panzer Shreks coming up forward to destroy that AT emplacement, because as soon as that's gone, well, these supreme tanks are gonna have free roam to move forward. Oh my god, a King Tiger and a Tiger to deal with. These things destroy everything. They destroy tanks, they destroy infantry, they destroy buildings if they want to. So even though there's all these squads, man, when you got these 2 beasts of tanks here, they're just gonna be wrecking havoc on all these squads. Look at that. Just shredding these guys to pieces. Every shot is just blasting them Oh my god. 3 guys in one shot. You don't even need snipers at this point. More gone, more gone. And these squads are just dwindling down in numbers. So if you ever were up against the Brit blobs and you wanted a perfected way to take them on, well, there you go. Just get the mammoth tanks. Just get King Tigers, get Tigers. And there you go. You'll be able to take on Brits quite effectively. As long as you keep your distance. Bring some support. As you guys can see here, we've got Flame Pioneers, we've also got some other infantry, and so they're supporting the heavier tanks over here. Oh my god, we've got Overwatch coming down for the Brits. Perfect stuff. I love the animation of the Overwatch ability. I mean, it wrecks infantry like crazy whenever it fires that burst. When it comes down, just wrecks infantry. It's like a shotgun shell almost, isn't it? Look at that. It's like a shotgun shell almost, exploding in the air above you. It's a really underused ability, but I mean, if you ever need to prevent your enemy from coming into a certain area, prevent them from coming a certain way, man, oh man, oh man, that Overwatch is stupendous, especially when you got more than one emplacement, more than one artillery using the Overwatch, so you have 2 of them. Oh my god, one after the other, just wrecks anything that wants to come through that area. But here we go, the last few minutes of this game coming up here with the Brits just trying to hold in, but you can obviously tell that the manpower toll is coming into place here because these squads just, I don't even know what that is, like 1 HP on some of them. Oh my god, you can just see those shots. Some of those shells hitting these men like a brick wall going at you at 300 miles an hour. Man.
They're losing territory.
And so all these guys just, I don't think there's anything else that they can do. The medics trying to get some guys up, but probably not going to be effective at this point in the game. And it looks like the Brits are just going to hang on in there as long as they can, even though it's quite clear at this point that we know what the end is going to turn out to. The VPs 294, 297. Both very, very equal, so there's no chance for the Brits to even try to save this for a VP win at this point. It's just probably going to come down to some sort of annihilation right now, especially with all these vehicles, the Tiger, the King Tiger. All these men even tired, they're exhausted. You can see the aura effect under their feet as they're just exhausted. Oh god, we just ran a marathon, our buddies have died, and you expect us to take on these tanks? What do you think we are, Terminators? What are they, T-2000 or something? Oh man. It's certainly what the Brits could need at the moment, but everything retreating once again, and it's becoming this sort of stage of everything like a cycle. Bringing stuff forward, then bringing it back, reinforcing as much as you can, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. And here we go. Here we go, panoramic view as we watch the final moments. Oh man. Giving the Brits no chance whatsoever to stay alive. Every single man is going to go down. And there we go, guys. Well, both teammates have dropped out, both the Brits. So I hope you enjoyed that last panoramic view as you watch the demise of the British Empire. But where did the Brits go wrong? I think most definitely. You know, it was great how the Brits were moving up their guys up north, decapping stuff. What I think they should have done, yeah, sure, decap it, but don't leave your ally to just fall apart. What I think they should have done afterwards was the Brits had such a great opportunity while this one guy over here, I think it was Bartek, was just defending against the 2 Wehrmacht forces, whilst the other one up here was decapping. You know what would have been a great option? I mean, it was quite undefended at one point. It would have been great after decapping all the stuff, blob up all of their guys, and just go in for a massive flank down this way, southwards towards the side of the Wehrmacht. They could have just pummeled the Wehrmacht from 2 directions. The MGs would have had no chance to turn around, because there would be guys coming from multiple directions. You know, this is talking about like 6 squads coming from this way, that way. The Brits, the Wehrmacht would have just got trampled on, and that would have been the end of them. But I think that was the Brits' fault for not letting that happen. Instead, just letting one of the teammates get pummeled by two of the Axes was just too much for them to take on, and so bit by bit, just falling back, the headquarters went down, and so on and so forth, and so that was the eventual demise of the Brits. So if there's a lesson to be learned in this, it's strategic planning, helping your teammate. Don't let them be there by themselves. You need to support them, because if you don't support them, even though you're comfortable up here and nothing's attacking you, if you don't support your teammate, you're gonna lose. Simple as, okay? So that is the take-home message. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and of course, until next time, I'll see you all later, and I'm gonna go play some Diablo 3. Have a nice day.